In this video, we want to solve for x and y while given two simultaneous equations. X plus y is 6, xy is 36. Let us call this equation 1 and call this equation 2. From equation 1, let's make one of the variables the subject of the formula. I'll use y, therefore y will give us 6 minus x, and then we go into the second equation and substitute for y, so that it becomes x into y, which is now 6 minus x, is equal to 36. Let us open this bracket. X times 6 is 6x. X times x is x raised to power 2 is equal to 36. Let's rearrange this to give us negative x squared plus 6x minus 36 is equal to 0. I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1 so that the coefficient of x squared is positive. 0 divided by minus 1 will always be 0. So we have x squared, because this is now positive, minus 6x plus 36 is equal to 0. How do we solve for this quadratic equation? This is not factorizable, so we are going to use the general quadratic formula to solve this. I'll first compare this with the general quadratic equation. Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. That implies that the coefficient of x squared here, a, is 1. Coefficient of x here is minus 6. And c is 36. Then the general quadratic formula, x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So let's diligently put in each of these values. X will give us minus 6 plus or minus 6 squared minus 4 times a is 1 and then c is 36. Then all of this divided by 2a. A is 1, so this is 2 times 1. Then we simplify further to give us x is equal to minus times minus is plus, so we have 6 plus or minus the square root of minus 6 squared here is 36. Then minus 4 times 36. I'll leave this as 4 times 36. Then divided by 2. So that x is equal to 6 plus or minus square root of 36 is common here. So I'll say 36 into 1 minus 4 divided by 2. Then from here, x is equal to 6 plus or minus 36. 1 minus 4 here is minus 3. Square root of that and divided by 2. So we get x is equal to 6 plus or minus. I can separate this product into two individual radicals. So we have square root of 36, then times square root of negative 3, then divided by 2. X is equal to 6 plus or minus. Square root of 36 here is 6. And then square root of minus 3 is going to give us square root of 3. Then I divided by 2. I'm going to separate the signs. But first of all, let's get rid of this combined division. We can do that by simply writing this as 6 over 2 plus or minus 6 root 3i over 2. 2 here is 1, 2 here is 3, 2 here is 1, 2 here is 3. This will give us x is equal to 3 plus or minus 3 root 3i. Then we can separate the signs to give us x is equal to 3 plus 3 root 3i, or x is equal to 3 minus 3 root 3i. So let's call this x1 and call this x2. These are the two values for x in this problem. Now we'll go and get the corresponding values for y. You recall from the beginning, we said y is equal to 6 minus x. So with this, we can now get two corresponding values for y. So when x1 is 3 plus 3 root 3i, we're going to get the corresponding value of y1. So for x1, comma, y1 is going to be 6 minus x1. And this will give us y1 is equal to 6 minus 3 plus 3 root 3i, which will give us y1 is equal to 6 minus 3. Minus times plus is minus 3 root 3i. And if we tidy this up, this gives us y1 is equal to 6 minus 3 here is 3. Then minus 3 root 3i. Now for when x, which is x2, is equal to 3 minus 3 root 3i, the corresponding value of y, which will be y2, will now be 6 minus x2. So we have y2 is equal to 6 minus, 3 minus 3 root 3i, giving us y2 is equals to 6 minus 3, minus times minus is plus, then 3 root 3i. So y2 is equal to 6 minus 3 is 3, then plus 3 root 3i. So now we have all four values to this problem: x1, y1, is equal to 3 plus 3 root 3 I, comma 3 minus 3 root 3 I, and then x2 y2 is equal to 3 minus 3 root 3 I, comma 3 plus 3 root 3 I, giving us all four values of this problem. Let us now check to confirm that the solutions are correct. To check, we are going to substitute these values into the given equation. X plus y is equal to 6, xy is equal to 36. We can actually use any of these solutions since they are symmetrical and we are dealing with positive and multiplication. So I'll choose the first one. This will then give me x, which is 3 plus 3 root 3 I, then plus y is 3 minus 3 root 3 I, to give us 6. This plus this here is 6, and this minus this is 0, so we have 6 is equal to 6. So the first equation, substituting the solution into the first equation, we have the left-hand side equal to the right-hand side. Now let's go ahead and do the same thing for the product. We have 3 plus 3 root 3 I times 3 minus 3 root 3 I, to give us 36. So we open up the bracket. 3 times 3 here is 9. 3 times negative 3 root 3 I here will give us minus 9 roots 3 I. Then this times this will give us plus 9 roots 3 I. And then this times this will give us minus 9 into brackets. Both of these roots 3 I squared to give us 36. So this cancels this. Then we have 9 minus 9 into root 3I squared to give us 36. A times B by law of indices raised to power m will give us A raised to power m times B raised to power m. Therefore, this will be 9 minus 9 times root 3 raised to power 2 times I raised to power 2 to give us 36. This cancels this. So we have 9 minus 9 times 3 times I is square root of negative 1, then raised to power 2 is equal to 36. So this gives us 9 minus 9 times 3 is 27, and then this cancels this to give us minus 1 is equal to 36. So we have 9 minus times minus is plus, then 27 to give us 36. 27 plus 9 is 36. So once again, from the second equation, the solution is correct, since the left-hand side balances the right-hand side. Thanks for watching. Please like and share and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.